And we're back.
And we're back. Here we go.
I am your host, Matt Musselwhite. This is my cohort, Bryan Kern,
What's up?
formerly of the Common Chaos podcast, because I'm going to put an end to that forever.
Still of the Common Chaos podcast. In it now. You can get everything at commonchaos.net. Thank you.
And if you go to
.net.
commonchaos.com, that is not the right site. It has nothing to do with him. And be sure to make fun of him for not having a .com, because who uses .nets in 2020? That's so 1999.
The .com, if I may, the .com belongs to a mother who I believe lives in Canada.
A real motherfucker.
A real mother who is raising her children, and that's what it's about. It's called the Common Chaos Chronicles, and it's about raising kids and cool arts and crafts stuff.
Sounds terrible, and you're giving them
stay-
way too much of a plug.
I try to stay real fucking quiet about it, Matt. So if we can just move along,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Yeah, so a big fuck you to the .com. Some people think .coms are played out and it's all about .tv and .band now, but
Well, you know what's gonna fucking boom? What's gonna boom right now? You know, everybody's gonna be like, I feel like SoundCloud, and you had an issue with Squarespace and fucking limits, it seems, and everybody
figured that shit out though.
Everything digitally, like it's gonna be some weird shit.
I told Squarespace what the fuck is up.
Boom, boom. Oh, we got some comments. Trent Knox from the Trent Knox Show is in the fucking chat room. All right, let's get into this, man. He's saying mic muted. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know.
Do you hear me in this microphone?
Can you hear?
Yeah,
both?
I don't know what he's talking about. I hear you fine.
I got Becca listening in. Becca says she can hear both. What do we got, Betty? Episode number 2. What are we doing?
So there's not really any good headlines that I can make fun of because everyone seems to be contracting corona or dying from it. So I figured we would just talk about the people that you are glad that have corona.
Whoa. You know, I'm glad you segued it at least that way instead of the original segment was people who should have the corona, who should have COVID-19, right? Because people are talking about normalizing it. Hey, we need to normalize it. We need to make sure that we're trying to get back to as much as a normal life as possible. So what better way to normalize it than just act like it's any other type of flu and, oh, dude, I hope you get COVID and fucking hug the toilet for the next 2 weeks, you piece of shit, because you cut me off. So I think there's been a few. Harvey Weinstein, obviously, or Weinstein, however you want to pronounce it. He's got it. Fuck him.
But he didn't die. I mean, everyone's disappointed.
I mean, he should, and it's a matter of whether or not, it's obviously survive. Not that he's fit, but it's not going to take everybody, but people definitely deserve to have it and be on the brink. R. Kelly is another one. R. Kelly is trying to plead to get out of prison like many people are because COVID happens to be running rampant within the prison system, but that's a whole other topic. And, no, fuck you, R. Kelly. Live with it. I hope you get it.
Yeah, R. Kelly does he actually have
go.
corona, or does he just want to get out of jail because of corona?
No, he just wants to fucking be free because he's a bitch. Fuck you.
Is he even in jail in New York? Because that's where they have the major problem.
I think what it is he's being locked down. Like, obviously, he can't go anywhere. He's on no-fly list. He says, I shouldn't be considered dangerous to be on a no-fly list. And, listen, motherfucker, if there's anybody that doesn't need to be going to any secret island, it's you, bitch. Sit down, fucking shelter in.
Do we have any proof that he was at Weinstein's pedophile island? Because it seems like a Disneyland for someone like R. Kelly.
Pedophile's island belonged to Epstein.
Oh, Epstein,
Yes.
Weinstein. I knew it was one of those crazy motherfuckers.
I mean, no, he didn't have to. He fucking did it in his own studio like a weirdo. Didn't you watch Surviving R. Kelly? That was the thing. He had beds in his studio like a fucking weird mother. COVID, give it to him.
What's crazy about the R. Kelly thing is I remember when he came out with the sex camp that there were girls that were going willingly.
They were being brainwashed.
They were going willingly to this sex camp, and the whole point of it was to learn how to perfectly sexually please R. Kelly. And I remember reading this and being like, man, R. Kelly could get away with anything because that's some crazy shit. And these chicks are lining up to go. No one made a big deal then, but 10 years later, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Why? It should have been a problem then.
I mean, it was a problem back then, but I don't think it was necessarily. I mean, let's be real. There's some fine lines, especially in the entertainment industry, right? The industry that we love so much and that we hold in such high regard at times. there's some fine lines. I mean, Britney was sexualized at 17, 16, you know, in a schoolgirl outfit. Like, there's these very fine lines they like to ride. So there might have been,
she was down with that.
There might have been a sex cult, but that's the whole point about cults, is that there's sex involved, right? There's this mysterious leader that's the
well, at least the cult I was in.
Yeah, and it's you know, I get to touch you and nobody else gets to touch you. It's my what does that yogi say? Women would pay $1 million for a drop of my semen. Like, get over yourself, my guy. You're not some yogi guy. Says that Bikram says that women would pay massive amounts of money for a drop of his semen because he's a fucking weirdo and it's a sex cult and he's just trying to fuck as long as he can.
Didn't he go to jail?
I don't know, probably different subject. But anyways, my point being, yeah, R. Kelly ran a fucking sex cult. And it was a sex cult of, hey, I'm going to get you famous. I'm going to get people bumping your music. But guess what? You're going to have to fucking sleep with me in my studio, in my bed, you know. And I can't read, so fuck me.
Michael Martin, I see you. I met him on tour. He's a cool motherfucker.
What up, Michael Martin?
I believe he was down with the Iwabo crew.
Iwabo. I wrestled a beer once. I used to have their koozies that they gave out a long time ago, and I wrestled a beer once.
I'm not gonna lie, they had some really cool merch.
Who do you wish had COVID-19? You know, we can continue. Who do you have? Who do you have on your list?
Well, I don't mind if R. Kelly got COVID.
Thank you.
I think it's kind of crazy that YNW Melly, the rapper who had murder on his mind and then actually committed murder, he has corona and they will not release him from jail.
Whoa.
That's crazy because Tekashi didn't have corona, but they still released him from being in danger of getting corona. And the first thing he does getting out of jail is post a picture, a meme of him as a rat. So he's poking fun at it. He's trying to make light of it. I don't hope Tekashi gets corona. He might get killed on the streets. I'd rather get another album or two out of him.
I was gonna say him for being a snitch, and I had that in my notes. I didn't want to press on it too much, just because I feel like I would be surprised if Tekashi gets out of this unscathed. I will be shocked if someone doesn't take a kneecap, at the very least.
It's gonna be interesting to see where it goes with Tekashi. Honestly, they need to give him a TV show.
What are you talking about? He's a
give
snitch.
him a TV show because he's wilding out all the time. And it's just a matter of time before he either gets jumped for being a snitch or says some more shit or acts wild in a club or whatever, or fucks another little girl and then gets beat the fuck up. Like, make sure it's televised. Get some ratings out of that.
He's a snitch. He doesn't need any other type of publicity. He doesn't need any type. Not even that. It's the okay. Let me stop.
Free Melberta.
If we're gonna go deep in this, it's not even the fact that he's a snitch that's a big deal. Let the streets handle that. He's a fucking snitch. That's all there is to it. But you're gonna go into a situation where you damn well know that you're already in up shit's creek because of what you've done. You are in trouble because of what you've blatantly done, and there's no running and hiding from that. But the fact that you have to pull other people under with you is just, I don't even really like Tekashi. I couldn't name a song. So as just a bystander, I'm sitting here going, I want to see how this plays out, you know?
I remember I said, you envy, huh? Blicky got the stiffy, huh? And you didn't know what the hell I was talking about. So you've never heard Dumbo. So we can move off Tekashi. If there's anyone I want to vote that would get corona, it's Rosie O'Donnell. Sorry, not sorry. She deserves it. She's a big time hypocrite. She's terrible. She's ugly. She looks ugly. She's a fat slob. No,
I was just gonna say she's a hypocrite of your boy over there that you're so.
She's a big time hypocrite because she would rage and rally against gun control, gun violence. Like, she didn't like guns, but yet she was on all the Kmart commercials when Kmart at the time was the #1 retailer of guns in America. So she also said she was going to move to Canada if Trump got elected, and I don't think she's a legal citizen of Canada. I don't think she moved there. I think she's still in America. So kind of a liar.
She could be.
But she said NASCAR fans are Neanderthals and Trump supporters, and I don't think that's true.
Well, yeah, okay. We're just glancing over that? We're not going to talk NASCAR fans? It's not something you want to discuss? We're going to glance at that. We're going to glance at that. Another person that should get COVID-19, Kyle Larson. I said it.
Ow.
I said it.
I'm going to say no because he needs to educate the ignorant NASCAR fans on the N-word. But that is a topic that I have reserved for your lovely Common Choss podcast.
CommonChoss.net.
Yeah,
Commoncast.net.
available on iTunes along with I Hate the Scene.
Yes.
After hours of deliberation.
Official. You know, see, we got to open up with that shit. We got to be like, hey, listen, ladies and gentlemen, you can catch us at iHateTheScene.com because we own a .com, iHateTheScene.com, and check us out on all streaming platforms. That's Spotify, that's Stitcher, that's iTunes, that's, what other one did you do? Google? Did you
Pretty much, yeah, everything.
Boom. Eat it.
Just about everything.
Okay, so Rosie O'Donnell. Yeah, I get it. Cool, get it. I'm not, do I care about Rosie O'Donnell? No, not really. Am I upset at the fact that she is, for whatever reason, still relevant? No. If she get it,
I am. What the hell does she do anymore?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. She doesn't do anything.
You sent it to me originally, and my brain registered Roseanne, and that kind of bummed me out a little bit. I hope that there's a fucking wall.
R.I.P. Roseanne.
I hope that there's a wall of China surrounding Betty White. I really hope Betty White stays protected through this. If there's anybody that deserves to fucking stay standing through all this, it's Betty fucking White.
It's gonna be 2040, and we're still gonna have Betty White's fine memes.
Well,
fine as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Not really. No. What do we got?
There's really no good headlines because everyone's got COVID. So.
I mean, I can rattle off a couple. What do we have here?
James Dolan, the owner of the Knicks, he got COVID, so I don't have to wish that on him. But he did recover, so maybe I could wish that on him again, just for being a shitty sports owner.
Perhaps
worst fucking sports owner in America next to Dan Snyder.
The first NFL player was officially announced having COVID, right?
Yeah, Brian Allen.
Jay Glazer announced that.
Jay Glazer announced that in a shitty way because first he said the day before, he said big scoopage dropping in 24 hours, and everyone thought it was going to be a transaction, like a player getting traded, possibly Odell Beckham. And then he drops that it's, this guy has corona. And so that's shitty that you hype that up as a news story. Mm-hmm. And two, it also opened up the floodgates for other players to announce that they have corona because I just seen Von Miller announced he tested positive. But both of these people are in recovery. They're not like having symptoms and really in trouble or they're going to croak or anything like that. So we're in the clear. We're not going to have any NFL players die.
Right. I mean, you hope not. They're all healthy, right? All of them are in good shape. Seem to be pretty tip-top shape, pretty healthy.
I would hope so. Training camp's coming up.
Couple NBA players have it. They seem to be recovering fine. You know, the people that are healthy seem to be going good. What do you think about the people? You know, a couple people have come out and said, a couple of officials that are involved with the task force, the COVID-19 task force. You know, sporting events and music events, large gatherings for sports and music events. You think football games, NBA games, MLB games. You know, your any type of real major league sport gaming and any real big concert at like a mega capacity is probably going to be postponed until the summer of 2021, fall 2021. So what does that mean? Like, you have to keep us entertained with these like sports trades? Like, give us something good, guys, or don't give us anything at all, unless someone's got COVID, obviously. But
they say that concerts aren't going to resume until 2021 and that it's for certain when it comes to Los Angeles. They're saying that sports will return sooner, but it's going to have no fans, which is going to suck. They're already saying the MLB is asking players to take another pay cut if there's going to be no fans in attendance. I think it sucks. It's terrible because I'm in the touring industry and that's how I make a living. If I have to go deliver pizzas in the meantime, it's going to really suck, especially because like Domino's Pizza isn't even that good. But
negative.
If LA doesn't host concerts till 2021, it's going to be shitty. That's a huge market. Every tour rolls through there. I don't think anyone can accurately predict this shit. And I think for the sake of the economy and everyone's jobs, you can't just let the country go homeless. So this shit's got to return sooner than later. They're not going to say it, but they're going to have this shit resume as soon as they get any wind that it's clear. I mean, even false information, they're going to run with it.
We don't take that deep dive into fucking just everything virtual reality. Everything's connected. You're immediately hooked up. We're going there. 2020 and on, we're connected. That's when it happened. 2020. We plugged in. By 2025, everything is virtually screened everywhere. You know, you just go from destination to destination, but every destination, it's a screen. You're tapping in your goggles. You're it's about to get real. What else are we talking about?
You brought up virtual family values and virtual smokeout, and the only thing I could think of was one, I won't have to smell the smelly ass dudes next to me in the mosh pit at a family values concert.
Yes.
On the downside, you won't be able to smell the secondhand smoke at an Up and Smoke festival.
My theory
But
for this.
on the bright side, you won't get virtually date raped at family values.
So my theory for this was with again, like everything being pushed back from to possibly fall of 2021. How do you keep the music industry thriving? How do you keep? And I've already gotten some invites to like some virtual parties. I went to very briefly while I was actually recording a live stream. I went to a virtual art gallery, which was pretty cool. There's been some virtual DJ sets, and like obviously people are popping off on their Instagrams and their social media. So now's the time to kind of create that, that one-on-one personality characteristic people are going to create, and you have to emphasize that. And you could emphasize that in a virtual form and still do festivals. So I was like, which festivals am I going to be most excited about? And yeah, the Family Values Tour, virtual Family Values Tour, which Kern would still headline. So
and Papa Roach would be direct support still.
No, listen, this hopefully may be a good segue after we get done with this, but it would be headlined by Kern still, and Limp Bizkit. Limp Bizkit would still be on the marquee as well, and then Trapped, of course. But then you would get thrown like 2 or 3 new metal bands, perhaps Dance Gavin, and then you just have them fight it out on stage with Trapped, and we can figure this out. And you have some other weird virtual, but it's all virtual.
You get Trapped to play exclusively on the Sumerian record stage because that's who they're at war with.
Yes. And then the other one, Smokeout. Yes, virtual Smokeout would be dope. Now you would get just modern artists, hopefully, right? So you get Denzel Curry, maybe Kanye plays. You get, guys that you
gotta get weed smokers.
You still get like
Cypress Hill.
You still get Cypress Hill. I was gonna say you still get fucking what's his face. But since everybody's quarantined,
Be Real.
Yeah, you still get Be Real. Everybody's quarantined. Be Real would just be in his car, like his show, right? So he would just be in his car. All you would see is smoke. Most of the artists would not understand that they need equipment, and since it's quarantine, they're not getting any professional videographers over there, so they're all going to underestimate the presence of the show, and they're going to realize day of that they're going to have to use their webcams, yet all of them have webcams that face walls in their offices, so nobody's prepared. God. So you're just going to get a bunch of artists being really awkward.
I was going to say you give them VR goggles and the whole setup, but then only like 3 people in the country actually own the full setup for VR to be able to walk around a virtual festival. So it's going to be the lowest attendance ever. Because
VR is horrible. I was also going to say that all of them would probably be too stoned for Smokeout to understand how to work the equipment. So it would just be videos. It would just be old videos of previous Smokeout tours, which is what I'm most excited for.
That makes me remember a fun fact. I tour exclusively with reggae bands at this point, and you would be shocked to know the amount of reggae bands that don't smoke weed. You think it'd be 100%, and it's more like
no.
It's like 60 tops.
Nothing's ever 100%. I would say a good 90% of reggae artists.
I 100% don't like Ice Cubes.
I guess not. Is that what you're spitting up over there?
Yeah, just, ever since I had braces, I was sensitive to ice. I don't do ice in my teeth. I don't chew ice. I'm not a pregnant woman. I'm just not into that.
Okay, I guess.
By the way, this episode is sponsored by 1835 Bourbon, available at your local Costco.
We got sponsors?
No. I'm just kind of drunk. Virtual... Yeah, we still don't have any sponsors. Virtual Smokeout would be cool, but it's just going to be a bunch of dudes high on webcam, and I feel like we could figure out other ways to do that.
I mean, realistically, what you want to watch out for is you want to watch out for virtual Coachella, because they're probably still going to try to charge you $250 a ticket to just sit at home. And that's when you really have to start worrying about society, is like when someone goes, bro, I got my virtual Coachella ticket, and you're like, oh, dude, that's awesome. How much? And he's like, $250. It was only $250. Can you believe this?
$250 for
shit,
one day.
Bro. It's going to be raging. Everybody's electricity bill is going to spike because it's just going to be, their lights are going to be on, off, on, off, on,
You're not allowed to attend virtual Coachella unless you're in your car and you have the heater on and all the windows rolled up and it's summer outside. None of this October shit. I want people
No.
sweating. If they don't clear that festival out and find at least 3 bodies afterwards, it's not really Coachella.
Yeah, you got to get a box with like a fuck. You got to get a box that you just shove over your head.
Got a Cash App.
With like 3 phones, all with those flashlight apps or those cop light apps that just go blue and red, and you just fucking put your head in this box and you just trip for a good solid 3 days. You have to take an exorbitant amount of mushrooms and acid as well.
No admission without acid.
No, none.
The last time I did acid, it was well, actually no, the third to last time that I did acid, it was cartoon versions of the Beatles, the band The Beatles, printed on there. And Ringo didn't do much for me, but when I started to eat part of Harrison's face, it really kicked in.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, of course Ringo was worthless.
All right. What else you on?
You wanted to say something bad about Brendan Schaub, and I don't really know much about him.
I think he should be a COVID victim. You know,
Putting it lightly.
It's neither here nor there. I don't really want to.
Or here.
Yeah. I don't want to seem. I don't need to. No, again, I don't want to talk shit. I don't want to talk shit. It's fine. He has to get COVID.
Because that's definitely not what we do on this show, is talk shit.
We don't. I am hand sanitizing though, because I'm a clean and crisp motherfucker. What else you got, Matt?
I got no hand sanitizer, but I got cheap bourbon.
Cheap bourbon
from Costco.
What kind of bourbon is that, Matt? From what year?
That's 1835 bourbon. Best drink in your Kirkland jeans. Make sure you unbutton them when you're done.
Yes, sir.
Kirkland, the only brand that makes ice cream and pants.
Do you have anything to say about my freshly shaved face and my beautiful haircut?
You are the poor man's Cody Rhodes.
Okay. All right. Cool. Second week in a row. Awesome.
And just like Cody Rhodes, you won't win the world title.
Well, I don't want the world title because I'm about wrestling. Hey, did you see the New Jack doc? Did you see the Dark Side of the Ring New Jack?
I saw the New Jack. I barely saw the end of the Jimmy Snuka episode.
I haven't watched the Jimmy Snuka one yet. The Brawl for All one was phenomenal. That one was so good. The fucking New Jack one? Whoa, my God.
Did you not know that stuff? Because he stabbed dudes in the ring.
I knew that, but I didn't. First of all, I didn't know he cracked his skull and he's got headaches every day. Oh my God, I'm sorry, but
he's partially blind and deaf.
Yeah, but at the same time, you don't fucking. You're an asshole, my guy. That's someone that didn't get. I can't. Okay, go. Other subject. Changing subjects. What the fuck you got to talk about?
Music reviews.
Yes.
The number 1 album on iTunes.
Johnny Craig.
Okay. I'm glad you brought that up. Because a little fun fact about Johnny Craig. Shouts to Vinny Esmeralda, who wishes he was the Mexican Johnny Craig.
New 5-song EP, though, is not that bad. It is really, really good.
EP's fine.
I won't go any further than that, but yeah.
There's one good song out of, 6? I mean, that's
it's
1 out of 6.
5 tracks.
1 out of 5. That means a fifth of the record is listenable. That's a lot of numbers.
It's a good album. No, stop. It's a good album. All the tracks are listenable. I mean, if you're a Johnny Craig fan, understand this. Understand that all the music you're getting as it's not that we're getting anything unique or anything creative from Johnny Craig, but what we are getting is emotionally fueled music. And I think if there's somebody of our era, Matt, you and I, that we know that is kind of came up in the industry during a time that was the golden years per se, right?
Golden years for us, definitely not for music.
He's just been that's questionable. 2000 to 2010 was phenomenal years for music. That entire decade was phenomenal.
You're just saying that because Thrice released their entire discography in those years.
Also not true. Anyways, so the point being is Johnny Craig is Johnny Craig, and we're gonna always get Johnny Craig for that. But it's just nice to understand, he's still able to put out music. He's still able to. The shit he talks about is real. He's not like apologizing or anything. It's just very emotional and very on his sleeve. But at the same time, what do you expect? It's Johnny Craig. So yeah, and he was number 1 album in America. So I think that's all we need to say about it. We can move along. Let's go.
So he announced that he was the number 1 R&B album. The trick to that was that he was the number 1 album for around 15 to 30 minutes. There's no way Johnny Craig's 5-song EP.
Chunk of time.
There's no way Johnny Craig's 5-song EP is beating out the new Weeknd record. That's just not happening. So the very next day after the release, the records went back to normal. iTunes charts are normal again. Weeknd's up there at number 1, and Johnny Craig is the 60th ranked R&B album on iTunes. He stated that he was the number 1 album in R&B, and that's incorrect. His management stated it correctly, saying that he debuted at number 1. Still an achievement. Let's give it up to him. And if you're a big Johnny Craig fan, be sure to check out my band interview on YouTube. I'll share that later on this page so you can check it out. That was an interview I had to sleep on for 7 years because I wasn't allowed to release it. That's how good of and loyal of a friend I am.
You've put it out?
I did, yes. It's on an old YouTube channel that I don't mind linking after I'm done here. Yeah, he talks shit on everyone.
We have a website, right?
iHateTheScene.com.
iHateTheScene.com, where you can check out old I Hate the Scene interviews, old interviews you did.
With a bunch of shitty metal bands, and some don't even exist now.
Yeah, and new episodes featuring us. So go check it out. But that's funny that you actually are putting that interview up, and that's respectable, I guess.
I guess. I mean, yeah, he calls a dude's wife a cunt, and that's always respectable. And he airs out some chick that he wrote a song about and said they did drugs together and that she was as useless as luggage and to climb in the back seat like luggage. But
when you do
I digress.
When you do see him, let him know that I know he's sent it a couple of times, but I sent him a computer. I'm still waiting for the check to come. If you can just tell him that. Just tell him I'm still waiting, and he'll understand.
Yeah. The funny thing about Johnny Craig is that he has a memory span of about 5 minutes. So it's if I want to jog his memory that I interviewed him at one point, I have to tell him that Chris Roeder, who's the vocalist of like Moths to Flames, that he referred to them as a, what was the term he used? A Under Oath ripoff. And it's pretty much what he's been his entire career.
Which is almost ironic because Johnny Craig would take over as the lead singer of Emarosa, a band that, in fact, Chris Roeder started. So maybe.
So I wonder why there's beef.
Yeah, maybe that's where the initial beef came in. All right, where are we at now?
New music.
So official. Yeah, new music. What do you want to talk about? We did, Johnny Craig obviously topped the music charts. It was a phenomenal feat for him. Great job. Now you're talking about recent music, perhaps.
Tory Lanez.
Yes, Trent mentions the Tory Lanez album. You wanted to talk about the Tory Lanez album.
If you let me talk. The new Tory Lanez is debuted at number 1. It's the number 1 album on iTunes, which is like the new Billboard because that's what people check now. I was going to point out that he sounds like a heterosexual Drake. He's from the same town as Drake. Run around the six. And the music's pretty cool. He has a very nice sing-songy style. Can you still hear me with the one ear in? Okay, cool. Just checking. I like the album. There's some like maybe 2 slow songs I don't dig, but the whole thing's dope. The beats is dope. The flows is dope. It's dope. It's better than Johnny Craig, and it's like 3 times as long.
I did like the new Tory Lanez album. It was decent. I also enjoyed. I mean, I've been nonstop listening to Alchemist and Conway, the Machine, Lulu. I've been nonstop listening to Lulu. I've been nonstop listening to the new ABR album, August Burns Red, Guardians. I'm excited about what's coming up. There's not too much that got released recently that I'm too caught up on. That is like
honestly, there really wasn't.
August Burns Red, the new Dream on Dreamer, their final album. There's only 2 dudes left in the band. They're just your kind of average run of the mill post-hardcore metalcore act, but you know they were a staple for a good amount of time in the metalcore scene. You know, for a minute there, they were the 2010 to 2014-15 era where they were putting out tracks that were memorable. You know, they had a couple good covers in there that were pretty decent. Like a lot of bands, they're just they've kind of played their time out. The new Code Orange is really, really good. I know Code Orange is a little bit of a just kind of off the cuff, chaotic band. They blend a bunch of different styles, a bunch of different genres. But they've gotten some mainstream appeal. They've gotten some tracks on some notable like TV shows and stuff. And they sample a lot, and they just have some really catchy albums or really catchy songs. and their latest album has been phenomenal. I recommend listening to it if you've never listened to Code Orange, and I've told everybody this. Code Orange, it's a taste. It's a taste that you're only gonna get. It's only gonna get satisfied when you understand that there's not supposed to be any type of like presentation to the fucking album at all. You just got to kind of go in. It's called Underneath. It's phenomenal. Check it out, Code Orange. I'm still stuck on those. There's the new Dance Gavin's coming out. That's what I'm excited for. And the Tory Lanez was phenomenal. You're right. It's probably the best album. It's probably the best release as of late. You know, outside, I think Lulu's still up there as far as last week's go.
I'll give it to you on that one just because I'm a big Griselda and Alchemist fan, so that record really hits home for me. Beats is dope, rappers is dope.
God damn it, I'm butchering his name. Comethazine. His new album, Pandemic, is really good. I'm into him because he's got a weird flow, and he's young. He's like 21, and he's talking about just shit that you talk about when you're 21, nutting on chicks, getting dumb all the time, and spending money on weed, then growing weed, and just fucking coming into money and not giving a fuck. And he's just got an off style and off flow that isn't nobody else is doing right now. It's kind of his own unique one. You don't see that a whole lot, and he's been just consistent. And I think that this album is kind of like his, I wouldn't doubt that he would be on like a freshman's, a freshman.
You brought up Comethazine, so I went and listened to him, and I gotta tell you, it's a straight 5 out of 10 across the board.
You said that, but you're also kind of heated that day in a couple different things, so I don't think that you really took it in. You didn't give the full album a listen through. I know that.
I gave 2 songs, and that's enough.
Yeah, no, it's not, because tracks 5 through 8 are the breadwinners, I think, of the album, and the first 2 tracks
was he suddenly going to
really
become
good.
more educated and spit a more fire rhyme?
See, that's where I gotta, are we really having this debate? Because I feel like you throw some of the most ignorant shit out there, and I convince you we're
Did we just lose Bryan? He just lagged up hard. Well, thank God he shut up. I think Comethazine is a solid 5 out of 10. It just doesn't do much for me. The rhymes weren't really kicking it. The flow wasn't there. I didn't dig it. And I understand what he's saying, that it serves a purpose, that it doesn't have to be the smart guy rap. I like to equate it to this. Some people get a car to make a race car. Some people like an economic car. Some people like a drift car. You don't.
You gotta exit the old Bryan.
How is there 2 of you?
You gotta go back. Okay, go back to the.
Oh man, I could ban you
go.
from the studio right now. Hold on, I got a point to make about music like Comethazine.
Go.
Because I got made fun of for liking the new Lil Uzi Vert. Lil Uzi Vert serves a purpose. You don't always need the smartest music with, like, for instance, Royce da 5'9". His record is smart, it serves a purpose, and it speaks to social issues. You don't always need that, because when you put that shit on, it makes you think. Sometimes I don't want to think because I'm just cruising to the homie's house, and I just want to nod my head. And that's where records like Lil Uzi Vert are a solid 10 out of 10, because they pull that off.
That's Comethazine, for sure.
I could see that. It didn't do that for me, but it's like some people have a car that they use for drifting. Some people have a car they use for racing. You wouldn't use the drift car in a race because it's set up differently. The same way you wouldn't look at Lil Uzi Vert and say he's the best rapper out there. He's not in a lot of aspects, but he does have one of the hottest records out right now. Fact.
I enjoy Pandemic by Comethazine. Thank you for attending Matt's TED Talk.
You're a dick.
I mean, drop it like it's hot, I guess. What else you got?
Makes sense. The best part about this is that my phone glitches like it's being clicked, and it erased my entire show notes. Luckily, I sent them to Bryan, so I still have them.
I don't.
There's a few other records that I listened to. One that I wasn't necessarily impressed with, but I listened to because it was new, and iTunes said they were digging it or loving it, whatever the fuck that means. DJ Python. I've never heard of him, but I like DJ Snake, so I figured maybe I'll go with the reptile theme. I listened to it, and I find out that the genre is deep reggaeton. I don't know what the hell that means. Not even close.
Oh no, what was it?
It's very progressive in the sense that it starts with a simple sound and takes about 3 minutes to get to a beat you could even remotely nod your head to.
So structurally, like a Tool, you know, like a just
I mean,
structurally
Tool gives me
progressing
a
up the
migraine.
structurally progressing up the scale. Yeah, well, it does that to the uneducated.
If you wait about 2.5 minutes on each song, it's music that you could drink a margarita to. Maybe. Not a very good margarita, but a margarita nonetheless. Another one I downloaded, and I know you've never heard of this person, the Black Madonna, who is actually a white girl who I think is from Chicago. I could be mistaken. She did a live stream. She's one of 3 DJs who did a live stream that was converted into an iTunes release, and I actually kind of dig it. It's a lot of house and dance music. Whenever she cuts in and talks, it kind of mutes so you can tell it was done on Instagram, but I could get around it. If people are doing this and converting their live streams during the quarantine into albums and iTunes releases, then for sure DJ Premier needs to get in on this. I know the last stream he did with RZA, while it was entertaining, it was like 2 old guys trying to figure out, oh, maybe 1 old guy since RZA couldn't do it. They couldn't figure out how to properly pipe in the music, so you ended up listening to the RZA stream over a Bluetooth speaker instead of piping into the sound.
Which is essentially what you'd get for a virtual smokeout. So it's almost as if it's a no-brainer that that's the next festival that's got to go.
So I dig the Black Madonna. If you're in the need of some new dance music and you don't like all the womps and lasers, then I think you're set on that. I really dig the Aesop Rock release. He made a side-scrolling video game. I believe it's available on Nintendo, like the Nintendo Switch. I don't have Nintendo Switch because I'm a guy, so I play Xbox. I've never played his game. I didn't know he made one.
What kind of gender appropriation is that, bro?
I don't know, man. Animal Crossing just doesn't seem like
you're a guy.
Animal Crossing doesn't seem like a dude's game. I mean, selling turnips and arguing about turnip prices. Shouts to Chris Shelley, who posts about it every goddamn morning as if it's the stock market. I'm not into Animal Crossing. I don't like Nintendo. I haven't bought a Nintendo console since N64. Rightfully so. They don't deserve my money. But I do dig the Aesop Rock album. It's like lo-fi hip-hop beats. It's very lyrical. You would dig it. You, of all people, would dig it because it's lyrically smart. Like the wordplay is decent, but the words he rhymes are fucking wacky.
Okay.
He rhymes soliquidly. I can't even say that shit. So what is that? I think Alessandra or I Am Ghost said it one day. Soliloquily? Is that a word?
Colloquial?
No, it's definitely with an S. Wow, I made that sexist remark and we dropped 5 viewers. Sorry.
Whoa, dang.
It doesn't pay to make sexist jokes in 2020.
Dude, I'm gonna be edgy. That's my character. I'm gonna talk shit.
Yeah. Let's. I'm not sexist. I swear.
All right,
ask my ex-wife.
What else we talking? What else we talking?
The Strokes.
Well, yeah, last week. I mean, the Strokes. They're
a band.
Yeah, and they're classified as a band that's going to do releases every couple of years. They're going to do something dope. They're going to do something that gets playtime, and yeah, cool. We're not seeing them at Coachella this year, unfortunately.
We're not seeing Coachella till October. Pray to God that goes on because that'll be a good sign.
No, dude, come on, it's not going to happen.
No, I don't care. I don't care, bro. Fingers crossed.
200,000 people.
I don't care. Stick them in a tent. Hey, if you have a fever, you can still sleep in my tent, bro. It's fine. Fingers crossed. Fun fact, I got tickets for Coachella 3 years in a row for free and always gave them away. And another fun fact, the only time I officially...
Are you signaling for some bullshit, or what are you doing?
The only time I actually attended Coachella Fest was for about 30 minutes, and it was only to do a job. I thought I was standing behind the stage where Future or The Weeknd were performing a duet, and it turns out it was just the house speakers. Whatever. It was cool. I checked in on Facebook and I told people I was cool because I was at Coachella, but I didn't do anything there or enjoy myself at all. At all. Another release. Okay, so The Strokes. The Strokes' new album is a perfect example of why I don't like The Strokes. Because they... This is what The Strokes have turned into.
Oh, shit.
if you poured Weezer into a glass and you forgot about it for an hour and all the ice cubes had melted, but you still were like, oh, I can't waste that because that's good Weezer, and you went ahead and drank it.
Good hash pipe. It's like peak hash pipe Weezer.
I don't know about peak anything.
Green Album.
It's definitely like the Green Album.
Wow.
If it had too many ice cubes and you left it out for an hour.
Wow, diluted Green Album, almost a swampy green.
I'm sure Strokes fans will like it, but it kind of gave me an actual stroke listening to it.
All right.
Sorry, those that suffer from strokes.
Oh no.
Did I?
Oh, we lost the last 4 viewers we have because they all have fucking stroke conditions. Becca likes the strokes. She's out of here. I'm plugging her phone. Will you get me another beer, please? I love you.
Yeah, get this man a beer. Since I'm a sexist piece of shit, get him a beer, woman.
Isn't my show. I can leave. I'm disrespectful if it's my show. This isn't my. Well, it's half my show, but I don't.
I mean,
half.
You already left once. Shouts to Becca Manley making an appearance. Not so manly, doing shit for a man. Another sexist joke? Sue me, sorry. So I don't like the Strokes. I really like the Tory Lanez album. And for some reason, a Playboi Carti album from 2018 was streaming, and it was on the top 20. So I listened to that thinking it was new music, but it wasn't, but it's still kind of good. Even though he's illiterate. I'm okay with that. Doesn't bother me.
We've talked about 2 illiterate artists today.
Who was the other one?
R. Kelly.
Oh, man.
Yeah, R. Kelly, I'm coming for you. What, son?
Someone's definitely coming for R. Kelly
my
tonight.
beef with R. Kelly is like my beef with... Well, no, that's not true. I was going to say my beef with R. Kelly is like my beef with Arn Anderson and Tosh, but Arn Anderson and Tosh have a beef, I'm pretty sure, because Arn Anderson didn't like fist bump Tosh when he was a kid at a show. Arn
Anderson will spinebuster Tosh. Even at like, how old is Anderson? Like 60 something? He'll fuck him up.
60 something. All right, let's go.
Shouts to Vinny Esmeralda, who is a knockoff Johnny Craig.
Not the first R. Kelly conversation today. All right, my guy. Talking about great minds think alike. That's what I say.
Yeah, Vinny might be doing some work for us in the future. Under the table, undocumented as usual.
That's cool.
Let's go into a regular segment that we've introduced on this show called Who Blocked Me This Week?
Let's go. Let's hear it. Can I tell my Catherine story too as well? Because I feel like that's worthy of a share.
You know, I'm gonna let you do that. I'm gonna let you go just because if it was on the internet, she would have blocked you.
You go first. It was on the internet.
No, go ahead and spit it because I thought it was funny.
Okay, so it was on the internet. There's this. I live in Austin, Texas. I'm not afraid of anybody knowing that. And around down the street from us is this coffee shop that we frequent. Me and my girlfriend, Becca Manley, co-host of the Tired Girls Club. Check it out, tiredgirlsclub.com. We frequent this coffee shop called Summer Moon. And we went down there, and Summer Moon, along with a bunch of other companies and little like coffee shops, groceries, fast food places. A lot of places are
hippie
saying,
bodega.
Yeah, a lot of people are going, hey, you know, we're gonna have additional eggs, milk, bread, basically essential items that people may need. So feel free to order that through us as well. So you know, if you're coming to pick up your cup of coffee or whatnot, you can also get your gallon of milk or you know what have you. So. Me and Becca thought that'd be a good idea to spread that around the neighborhood, and we're a part of a Wooten neighborhood group, right? We're a part of a group out here, and so we go to the group and we're like, hey, just so everybody knows, Summer Moon has some essentials. You guys should check it out. And this no good bitch Catherine.
This no good bitch Carol Baskins.
My girlfriend is the one that makes the post. Hey everybody, Summer Moon has gallons of milk and this and that, just so you know. Just being friendly, right? Because it's the fucking pandemic. Being friendly, letting everybody know where they can get their essentials. This bitch Catherine comes in there and goes, just so you know, Summer Moon is a pro-life company. And we're just like, what the fuck? So I go in there and I'm like, good thing we don't give a fuck about their ideals and just go there for their cups of coffee. And then she chimes in with another one and is like, just so you know, she goes, I vote with my dollar. That's why I also don't go to Chick-fil-A and what was the other one? Hobby Lobby. That's why I don't go to Chick-fil-A or Hobby Lobby. And
Hobby Lobby don't support abortions.
we're just like, Catherine, it's fucking the pandemic. Shut the fuck up. Get over it. It doesn't matter where the fuck you go or who the fuck you vote for right now. We're all dying. If you don't want the fucking milk, go fuck yourself. Don't take the fucking milk. I don't know what else to tell you. Why do you have to come in and shit on people because they're pro-life? How about you professionally fuck off and just, I don't understand. I don't get it.
You said that she told you, quote, I vote with my dollar.
I vote with my dollar. That's why I don't shop at Chick-fil-A or Hobby Lobby either. Good, bitch. Chick-fil-A, more nuggets for me, dude. Like, get out of here. Chick-fil-A is delicious. You don't shop at Chick-fil-A because of their ideals and their morals. When their ideals and their morals are based off, like, the small people on their board, I'm sure, then fuck you. Good.
They're Christian. How bad can they be?
More chicken for us. All right, Chick-fil-A is goddamn delicious. Their chicken biscuits in the morning, yeah, I'll fight you for it.
I do have a theory that Chick-fil-A brainwashes their employees because there's no way that they're that nice that everything is their pleasure. Like, there's no way you could even say that many times a day without some sort of like Clockwork Orange type brainwashing. I think that when they show their training,
a very submissive employee-employer relationship.
Oh yeah, when they show their training videos, they probably got your eyes like locked wide open, like forcing you to watch it.
You are in a clockwork fillet.
A clockwork fillet.
Chick orange. You're just
That would be a good name for this episode if I didn't already steal a Star Wars name. But that's just, yeah, Vinny, you're right. Nobody gets that good at customer service. I've mentioned you way too many times this episode. You need to pay me some money now.
Yeah, Vinny, pay us, bitch.
He's about to do all our segment music since Jacob Garcia of He Films the Clouds didn't do it yet. Apparently, he's too busy playing shows during the pandemic. Not.
Shout out, He Films the Clouds.
All right, so who blocked me this week? I got it written down because I almost forgot because they blocked me and I don't get to see their profile anymore.
I do have that in the notes.
No, I got it. Right. It's okay. So these people definitely deserve to get trolled because they're both racist. Does anybody want to defend a racist? Anyone? All right, I'm good to go. All right, cool. The first one was a guy named Adam Curry, an old ass boomer racist who told me I'll get my ass kicked if I was in Dearborn, Michigan. Which there's no venues in Dearborn, Michigan, so I won't be in Dearborn, Michigan. But maybe if you show up to Detroit or Grand Rapids or even East Lansing, somewhere that has an actual venue, you can cash in on that free ass kicking and come see me. He got mad because he was going off about the whole NASCAR thing and defending it and basically said that his generation was wiser, and I disagreed. He called me a pussy, and so of course he's on a post block and he's no longer able to respond to anything. The other brilliant lad who blocked me is named David Orr. I think he's from somewhere in Kentucky. Go figure. He's another boomer ass racist who called me a pussy and admitted to using the N-word while growing up. He said that his generation wasn't as sensitive as us and called me a snowflake. And I said, you're right. We've got a lot wiser since your time. He said I was a fucking idiot and a candied-assed pussy. So he is on a post block as well. When he when he said that he disagreed with my generation being wiser, I responded by saying, but what the fuck would you know? You grew up using the N-word. The worst part about all of that,
way to give it to him, Matt,
is that I reported his comment to the group admins and they kicked me out the group.
Well, yeah, because you're a snitch. What I say earlier about Tekashi, you're a snitch.
If you're a racist, you need to be put on blast because that shit has no place in our society in 2020. And that is something I will defend till the end because a white guy saying it carries more weight than a minority, which is a racist term that a lot of boomers like to use.
Oh no! Now you're no.
No, it's cool. We're not
Minority's
getting that
fine.
smart. We're not a
Minority's
smart
fine.
podcast.
Yeah. No,
I'm not
minority's
race
fine.
baiting. I'm just saying that racists
You're
deserve.
tempting lines. You're almost like a slut at a bar. You're almost pulling that skirt up a little too high. You're pulling the skirt up to let me know that that you want a pounding. You want it. But you're also like not accepting the drinks I'm sending your way, so you're giving me weird signals. All right.
Side note, I hate the Dave Matthews Band album, Hike Your Skirt Up a Little Bit. And shouts to Mike D, my homie from Long Branch. He says they're heavy on the hard R, and it's true. If you use the hard R, I mean, if you're a white guy saying it, you need to get slapped. But if you're using the hard R, it's disturbing. If you don't halt when that's said in a conversation, you need to get a reality check. But we're not a smart podcast, so we're not going to get into racial conversations. I'm going to save that for Common Choss.
We'll continue that conversation at the Common Chaos podcast at commoncast.net. What else you got?
That's shockingly the only two people that blocked me this week, but I did get blocked from a Kyle Busch fan club, which actually, let's be real. I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna get a little honest for you. I might even shed a tear. I got banned from a Kyle Busch.
Can we paint this picture just a little bit though? Can we? The discussion was around the Kyle Larson incident. Kyle Larson, during a virtual racing incident, said the N-word, and his microphone wasn't cut off. It was on. Everybody heard it. He was fired. Team kicked him out. Yada yada. So Matt's been discussing this with people. So it was about as best as it could go.
Probably way too much, more than Bryan wants to hear, but it bothered me. Shouts to Christian Martinez. Shouts to the 760.
What up, Christian?
Homie. Christian Martinez and his dad is the reason that I went and bought a 3D TV years ago. Even though the technology went out of style, I still think it's cool as shit. So shouts to him.
Dang, Christian,
cool
thanks
ass
for getting
dad.
us hooked on shit that doesn't have longevity. Appreciate it.
Yo, I don't care. 3D TVs are still cool, even if they have no support, and the DVDs and the Blu-rays cost $40. I can download the shit for free and then watch it in 3D. It looks amazing. You drink a little bit, you get a little bit of... and it looks awesome. So fuck it. No trend. I'm not familiar with any of that or any smart topics that you could possibly bring to this conversation because, again, this is not a smart podcast. This is a podcast about music, entertainment, gaming, and fashion. And by fashion, I don't mean walking the runway in New York. I mean sneakers, like these terrible Air Max 270s that I bought where the air bubble will pop.
I was about to say, as we segue into a segment where you're going to talk about how you got kicked out of a Kyle Busch fan club for calling somebody out for being a racist. As we're about to get as real as this podcast gets.
Yo,
Throw
racist.
Throw your shoe plug in real quick. Get your shoe plug in. What else did you got, Matt?
Shouts to the Jordan PSGs that nobody bought but me. I got the match jersey, hat, and t-shirt, so fuck off.
That shit laces itself.
Actually, no, those are... the desk that I use for this podcast is the $400 Nike Adapt BB 2.0s, the self-lacing Nikes that are basketball shoes that you can take on the court. You sync them to your phone, you download an app, and you get them to tie on their own. They are $400. The laptop I use is $250. The shoes that I have never worn outside of my house, outside of carpet, are the desk that I use to record. That's how baller I am. Mainly it's because nobody wanted to buy them because they're not dead stock and I'm trying to sell them on eBay.
Shout out, gang gang. Nobody better be coming at me with their click. I got it all right here.
But yeah, I got kicked out of a Kyle Busch fan club and it actually broke my heart. We discussed on the last podcast that I don't get mad, and I didn't get mad. I got offended. I actually got offended because there's really, besides Steph Curry, maybe like the greatness of Michael Jordan, there's no athlete or sports figure that I worship more than Kyle Busch. And I got kicked out of a fan club that they made him an admin of. Not that he was the one that kicked me out, but it offended me. And so that's how you get to me. Reprogram the laces to type for you. I wish I could, but they're still in the box, and I've never charged them, and I've worn them one time in my house because I'm trying to sell them. But nobody will buy them because every size hasn't sold out on Nike.com. So if you want to help me out, go to Nike.com, spend $400, buy those Nike Adapt BB 2.0s, and eventually I can sell these for profit on eBay. Because right now, if I sell them, I'm going to lose at least $30, and I don't want to do that. Maybe one day. One day.
Aside from a financial advisor, Matt also needs.
Yo, they said you either need to play the lottery or buy shoes. So I started buying shoes. I bought a pair of Off-Whites. I got them in a drawing, and I got them for like, how much were they? They were like $200. I sold them for $600. And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to be a baller. I'm just going to keep doing this. Then the pandemic hit. Now Nike doesn't even have good shoes on their upcoming release schedule. There's probably 2 pairs that I would actually put on my feet. Not that I would spend money on, but that I would put on my feet. And then they had these whack-ass new Air Maxes, so I can't really support that. So that concludes our fashion segment for the rest of the month.
Womp, womp, womp. Are you going to get the Nike LeBron 17s? The LeBron 2Ks?
I have the Nike LeBron 17s, the future. See that holographic tiger?
No, the LeBron 2K.
Oh, it's a lion. It's a
Playoffs,
lion
son.
because he's the king.
No, the 2K playoffs, son.
So
Stop
LeBron
fucking
needs to make the playoffs to resurrect Kobe. And if he doesn't, and if
wow, what?
Too far?
What? Cut
Look,
out.
If my team,
Commercial break.
if my
Commercial
team
break.
can't win it, then LeBron needs to take the Lakers to at least the finals and bring back Kobe's legacy so we could talk about Kobe. Because I don't miss my ex. I miss Kobe. And this is coming from a guy from Northern California.
Who doesn't give a fuck?
I grew up hating the Lakers
Who doesn't
my
give a fuck?
entire life.
For kicking the shit out of the Sacramento Kings.
You're not lying. 0-2, heartbreaking year. 0-2, the Kings go down in the Western Conference Finals with a Game 7 buzzer beater by Derek Fisher. R.I.P. my whole sports fandom. Then my lovely Raiders go to the Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Rich Gannon throws 6 interceptions. I pray that he gets a career-ending injury, and the next year he breaks his neck and he's done. We go through like 17 terrible quarterbacks.
Whoa. What?
You didn't know that?
You wish this man bodily harm, and a year later he breaks his neck, and you're just gonna subtly throw that into a fucking segment we're doing? Like we're
6
not already
interceptions.
Like we're not already an hour and a minute into this fucking thing. You're just gonna be like, oh, I wish this guy bodily harm, and sure enough, career over, life over, broken neck.
6 interceptions in the Super Bowl, a record that was held all the way until Peyton Manning broke it when he played against the historic Seahawks defense. Yes, I wish that. Also had to deal with the Giants and Barry Bonds going to the World Series against the fucking Southern California Angels. Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim County, Orange County, fuck all that. The Giants lose the World Series. I have to see all 3 of my favorite teams lose in the biggest games. So yeah, I was a little hurt. And Rich Gannon never played again after 03. Done. D-U-N-N done.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm a little drunk, so I apologize. We've also gone down to 2 viewers, so it's evident that our quality is slacking. I'm going to move on to the gaming world.
Dude, okay, well, yeah. We were also going to talk. You had something to say about Bring Me the Horizon, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, man. Is that even my notes? You're right. Bring Me the Horizon had a new article on Kerrang. It was talking about bringing back the gutturals.
Yes,
you can
the
preview
deep screams, the pig squeals almost, the deep inhales. For those of you that aren't familiar, Bring Me the Horizon used to be this very aggressive and very brutal metal band.
In 06.
In 06, 07, 08, or honestly up until 2009 when Suicide Season came out. Some may
still a little
say,
brutal.
Some
still
may
a little
even
bit.
say so was There Is a Hell. Believe me, I've seen it. There is a Heaven. Whatever that album was. There Is a Heaven.
Really
Believe Me,
long
I've seen
title.
it. Yeah, There Is a Hell. Anyways, so they've stayed very brutal up until that point. Sepultura was their first album where they kind of took a little bit of a softer turn. And they, they used to be the icons of deep, brutal metal. Like it was Bring Me, his screams, his range, all these Sykes.
Count your fucking blessings.
The catchy song titles, the fucking, it's just yeah.
So the point I wanted to bring up is that Bring Me is talking about going back to their gutturals and bringing a heavy essence to their new album. The new album's untitled. The only snippet you get is a little bit of Ollie saying that something about a flask and he'll drink blood. It sounds cool. It's not over the heaviest sounding music that we've heard from them, but it's supposed to be a return to the heavy. Bring Me, in my humble opinion, MIHO, is the best progression that I have ever heard from rock or metal into mainstream. It is almost impossible for a deathcore band to go mainstream.
Yes.
We've heard artists in the past like
You're right.
I'm going to take it back to the '07 to 2010 era. Devil Wears Prada and Drop Dead Gorgeous were two bands that I never thought could go mainstream. I never thought that they would ever go. Devil Wears Prada ended up signing to Warner. Drop Dead Gorgeous ended up signing to Shertone, which is a branch of Interscope A&M Geffen. It was kind of a shock. I'm not going to say those bands had tremendous success or any success when they went mainstream, really, but they got to that point.
The Devil Wears Prada's had some pretty decent success.
Maybe they had 2 albums on Warner, and then they returned to their first label, Rise Records, and that's where they remain. And I think that the music they made on Rise and Ferret was better than the music that they ever made on Warner. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it is. But I mean, they're for what it is. Let's be real. We're talking about bands that have been able to like kind of exceed genres, right? Go from the pocket metalcore, the pocket metal, the pocket fringe genre to the mainstream, and yeah, they didn't do that, but they've been a band that's progressed their sound over time, and they're those bands never, you're right, have ever reached the level of Bring Me the Horizon, but
to debut at number 1,
yeah, and
to
I'm
sell as many copies,
I'm honestly,
to have as much mainstream success.
I'm
We
not
did not
doubting you.
see that with any of our favorites from that era of '07 to even 2015. None of those bands had the success that Bring Me did. Bring Me took their sound to the next level, whether it was adding in the electronic aspects, whether it was dumbing down the screaming to a more melodic yell. They don't sing, but they have tons of melody in their hooks and in their record, and it paid dividends.
Ollie has his the last couple albums he's definitely sang. He's definitely gotten harmonious himself. He's hitting melodies. He's hitting octaves and has a range. It's not the cleanest.
He's not outright singing.
He's always talked about his vocals being, something that could set him back at times because his voice gets fucked up, and I'm sure that he's over the years learned how to properly manage his voice and how to properly use it. And when they do perform live, they do still play old songs. They go all the way back to Suicide Season, and they even have on a couple different tours done collaborations of tracks from This Is What the Edge of Your Seat Was Made For, and Count Your Blessings. They've done like almost a collaboration of 3 or 4 different songs of each album that they put into a 5-6 minute song. Devil Wears Prada does that as well. Other bands do that from time to time, especially when they do kind of have that older catalog that fans still appreciate. For Bring Me, it's an older catalog that, really, if they're still holding on to old school Bring Me fans like us, fans that are still into them, they're lucky, right?
No, I'm on a stream. I'll call you later.
Oh, wow, okay.
I got a hot take for you, and it had
Go.
nothing to do with that phone call I just took.
Go.
If Linkin Park, R.I.P. Chester Bennington, I'm not joking about that, that seriously fucked everybody up, R.I.P. Chester Bennington. If Linkin Park was to return to the touring world, that means that we need tours. What about that guy from Escape the Fate? Who gives a fuck about Escape the Fate, Christian? Sorry, they don't matter ever.
Thank
Craig
you.
Mabbitt,
No.
Ronnie Radke.
I won't even let you waste your time. No, go.
Nope. If Linkin Park was to return today,
Yeah.
Ollie Sykes would be the front man. I would put money on it that if
Well,
Linkin
there
Park
was that
decides
rumor.
to tour
There was that
again,
rumor for a while that he was gonna do that tour with them. That he was gonna be the frontman for the tour.
one of the best live
Because
albums
he
I've ever heard.
participated on him in Warped Tour. There were several artists and several bands that participated on him on that California date that they played, and Bring Me was one of them.
On one of the best live albums that I've ever heard, the Linkin Park Hybrid Theory live in its entirety album.
Yep,
I
live
think
from
it's
Texas.
no. Hybrid Theory live in its entirety. I believe it's from Download.
Okay.
There's an excerpt where in between the songs, Mike Shinoda shouts out Ollie Sykes, and he says Ollie said that the first ever live band he saw was Linkin Park. They had a connection before Chester died.
That makes sense.
And a lot of people think that Bring Me turned into a version of Linkin Park when they released Simple Eternal. They became a lot more electronic and a lot more melodic.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they were
And
very
and
similar.
I dig it. If Linkin Park returns, I'm willing to put money on it that Ollie Sykes is their front man and the front and center vocalist for that band. Whether or not he sings, I don't know, but he would be the front man, and it would be amazing, and it would
Makes
capitalize
sense.
on the young crowd, and it would
Yep.
capitalize on the older dudes who like Linkin
Yep.
Park. It would be perfect.
Yeah, it would. That makes a lot of sense, man. I'm not arguing that. I kind of went a different route. I was like, hey, what three bands have done that successfully? I think, right? Because like you said, not a lot of bands go from that fringe, back pocket band that you want to hold dear to your heart, that you don't want anybody else to know about because they're so special, right? Very few bands hit that mark and then also go on in the mainstream to be successful, sign to a major label, have international success, yada yada. With genre changes, that's not to say that bands haven't done that successfully from within their own genres, but we're talking about actually expanding one or two or more genres, right? So at number 3, I have Avenged Sevenfold. I think Avenged Sevenfold has probably done that. They're a little bit before Bring Me's time. Their first album was 2002. 2003 was Waking the Fallen, everybody's, real fucking popular one. And then 2005, City of Evil. And then after that, you kind of have their more melodic Metallica style metal that they're doing, their ballads. When they were a screamo, post-hardcore metalcore band, when they started out, and they started out playing Chain Reaction and started out playing fucking Side Stage and, the fucking whatever else you have in like Temecula and all those
So
old
much
venues.
side stage.
Yeah, and like, you had the fucking yeah, you're just the troubadour, and you have them at all these small venues, emos and shit when emos was around, and then you have now they 100% headline festivals, national festivals, international festivals, download like Reeds, they headline those kinds of things. So Avenged Sevenfold, I think Avenged Sevenfold's actually number 2. Number 3 is Thrice. I have those probably backwards.
Of course.
Thrice is my favorite band. That's no secret.
Ever.
But I mean, again, they went from a really hard post-hardcore metalcore sound that was aggressive. They signed to Island and put out Artist in the Ambulance, their most critically acclaimed album, and then Visu, which I think that might actually beat Artist in the Ambulance. Artist in the Ambulance, no doubt, is probably the most popular, but
Who gives a
Visu.
fuck about Thrice in 2020? Sorry, not
no,
sorry.
dude, they're still doing music. They're phenomenal and they're beautiful. They've done a great job, and again, they haven't stuck to that post-hardcore genre. They've done pretty much everything from folk to like a more indie brand new sound.
Justin Kenshrew is a very smart vocalist.
Oh,
he did
man,
a folk
he's
album
phenomenal.
that I couldn't stand that folk album, but I gave him props just for the fact
He's
that
phenomenal.
he accomplished it.
He did a religious song album. He did like a Bible album. Like he's all over the place. He's fucking crazy. Dustin's phenomenal. And then number 1 was Bring Me. Yeah, Bring Me's probably made the biggest impact. Although I feel like Avenged Sevenfold might have had a bigger impact. Bring Me, I think, was more iconic when they were around during their underground days. Bring Me hit the scene unlike any other band really in 2006 and 7. When Count Your Blessings came out, especially being from the UK, when Count Your Blessings came out, it was like, man, this is the New England metal scene has always probably been the most aggressive metalcore
Not
scene.
New England, but the newer English metal scene.
No, 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 no. The New England metal scene, sir. Killswitch Engage, It Dies Today. All the guys from the Northeast, you know,
Ugh.
from fucking Vanna. All anybody that was in the New England era, northern east side of the United States. You were probably getting the most aggressive metal, hardcore, metalcore blends out of that area. And then you had fucking Bring Me, and the Midwest had fucking Devil Wish Prada. You know, Drop Deads from Denver. You had
Ohio
these
had a shit ton of metalcore acts. I
yes,
believe there's like
Attack
6
Attack.
metalcore bands from there.
Fuck yes.
Miss May I, Attack Attack, Before
Yes.
Their Eyes, Devil Wears
Yes.
Prada.
Yes.
Too many.
Yes. So many from all over the place. And like then you had this like you had a stream of bands from other countries. You also had I Killed the Prom Queen out of Australia, but you had bands from the other countries that just kind of blew up and came over to the US, and they toured once or twice on smaller label tours, Epitaph tours, Victory tours, and they kind of blew up within the scenes. And Bring Me was one of those bands, you know? And then to break into the mainstream and to have like they were riddled with controversy, man. Ollie peed on a bitch. Like, let's be real. They're not the most like calm, just they're not a band that was like doing their thing and made
Can
it
I
was,
clear
like,
that up?
doing its thing. What do you mean can you clear it up? It's no secret. He was drunk and he pissed on a bitch outside of
No,
a venue.
that's
Yes.
not what happened. I
Oh,
know
come
the
on, son.
real story.
What?
There was a female who would
Yes.
not leave their tour bus.
Yes.
Their security forcibly removed her from the bus by grabbing her and pulling her off the bus and
Right.
locking the door. She wasn't thrown off. She wasn't punched. She wasn't hurt. She was kicked off the bus, and she was mad and embarrassed. She picked up a glass beer bottle that she did not know was full of piss, and she chucked it at the window. She thought it would break the window. What happened was it bounced off the window, broke on her, and covered her in piss, therefore creating the lie that that band pissed on her. They never, and they were acquitted in court. Ollie was acquitted
He was,
for all
he
the
was in
shit
court,
you
court.
put me through. I should have fucking pissed on you. This is what, you know, they write stories about girls like you on the back of bathroom doors or whatever the song's called. That's what happened. That story was confirmed for me by what, 2-3 different bands. I think Asking, Capture the Crown, and Architects confirmed that story for me. That's not even what no one ever got pissed on. She threw a beer bottle at the window and she got embarrassed. So let's clear that up
The
now.
beer bottle
Ollie
had
didn't
piss
pee
in
on
it?
anyone.
The beer bottle had piss in it?
The beer bottle had piss in it from their road crew. So
There
she
you go,
got
ladies.
pissed on at the end,
There you
but
go,
no
folks.
one physically pissed on her.
You heard it here first. I Hate the Scene. Dropping you that knowledge.
And that's why you're going to tune into us every fucking Thursday and Friday and subscribe to us on YouTube and iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher. What else exists? Twitch, Tweaker? I don't know. Every
We're not
platform on the
Twitch
planet.
yet. We are on YouTube. We do have a website, iHateTheScene.com. That's right. iHateTheScene.com. Your one-stop shop.
Not .net, because we're not poor.
No, yes, you're right. And nobody already owned iHateTheScene.com. You're correct.
Just me
Yes.
for about
Just Matt.
15 years.
Yeah. So iHateTheScene.com. Check out all our most recent episodes, which there's just going to be 2 of them. The last one, and then now this one that you're listening to.
This is only a small tidbit of the true stories that I know from the mouth of bands that they will never, ever say in a print interview, in a video interview. There's no point in even bringing them on the show because they won't tell you the truth because they have to be politically correct. But I can tell you, and I can tell you who said it and not tell you who said it so I can still get away with it. And I'll tell you the truth because what do I have to lose? I'm already an asshole who made a sexist joke earlier. It's true. Look at Bryan's face. He knows I'm already losing followers by the minute. And we dropped down from 6 to 4.
Down to 4, guys. Hey, thank you for sticking around. What else do we have? We can do plugs now, right?
We can do plugs. I wanted to plug what I'm gaming right now because this is a
What do you
gaming
got?
podcast.
Yes, what do you got?
Right now, I'm not playing Animal Crossing for reasons that I listed earlier.
Okay.
I am, however, going back to 2018 and playing Forza Horizon 4, the Lego Speed Challenge, and the Fortune Island expansion. They're fucking awesome. I am also playing Sea of Thieves for 2 days because that game actually sucks. You can get it for $1 if you get the Xbox Ultimate Game Pass. But the problem with Sea of Thieves, and get this, Bryan, get this.
Enlighten me.
You can spend hours playing as a pirate. Not a butt pirate, a real fucking animated pirate. Hours into a quest. One mistake will set you back to square one. And everything that you acquire money for is strictly cosmetic. There's nothing you can upgrade. There's no point to play because nothing ever gets better. You simply look different. So what did I do? I bought a dress because dresses were available for guys. Go ahead,
Oh, yeah.
insult me. I dare you, because you can't in 2020. So Sea of Thieves sucks, in short. Don't bother downloading it. There's no point in playing it. You're going to waste your time. Unless you have children, let them play it, because it's fine. The graphics in the water look fine. The players look cartoony. It's fucking stupid. Also played Train Simulator 2020. That's fucking stupid. If you've ever thought, hey, maybe being a train conductor would be fun, you were fucking mistaken. If you ever thought the game would be fun, you were fucking mistaken. If you ever thought, oh, I'll just crash the train and it'll look cool, you were fucking mistaken. Because there's not even fire animation in the game. Go ahead. Say something. I dare you. That's right. Train Simulator 2020 sucks. You can't even run trains on anybody. You can be in like England or Long Beach, Long Island, whatever. Same diff. They all suck. Doesn't matter. I'm still playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
Shout out Red Dead.
I'm still playing GTA 5. Shout out to the 86 ounces in a duffel bag gang. Shout out to Cal Richards. Shout out to Sam Calvin. Shout out to Ryan, Razzle, Dazzle, Gardner. What's going on here? Those are my gang members. We will see you on the streets of Los Santos. We will flash sweet-ass cars on you, and then we'll fucking murder you on a video game, because that's what we play with fucking gangster.
Thug, son.
Straight thugs. I got $20 million on GTA. Who needs a real word when you're quarantined and you can play on GTA all goddamn day and sell your weed for twice the value?
Touch my dick under the desk like that. What?
Son.
Saucy.
Oh, you went saucy. I went son. That's all I'm playing. I was playing Ghost Recon Wildlands, which is about 4 years old, but my buddy uninstalled it, so now I can't play it anymore. A little disappointed because I only got about 80% done.
Playing Tony Hawk on Nintendo 64, the console it wasn't made for. It's awesome.
Using those C buttons, my thumbs hurt like shit.
Yeah, getting calluses. What?
If you want to add me on Xbox, it's IC-EYESEE space HYPHY IC hyphy.
If you want to add me on Xbox, too bad I don't play Xbox. What up? Shout out. No game gang.
If you want to add them on N64, you can, because they didn't have any online capability.
And I need a Rumble pack. Sell me one. Facebook Marketplace. Let's go.
Oh, man, if we could only go back 15 years, I could give you the Rumble pack that Aaron Beals gave me. Shout out Aaron Beals.
I need a Rumble pack and a game pack so I can save my game, dude. I got to save my tapes. I'm getting my 5 tapes on every level. What?
Do you even have an expansion pack to make the graphics like 20% better?
No, dude, the graphics are so horrible on it. We also got WrestleMania 2000 though, and I might have to go whoop my girlfriend's ass in it right now. So
you should just beat her ass in real life and show her what's up.
Yo, shout out commonchaos.net. That's my website. You say I should just beat her ass in real life and show her what's up? She's terrified on the walls of Jericho.
We don't ever support domestic violence, and we especially hate racists. I will continue to troll you for the rest of my life.
I will for sure put her in a chokehold though from time to time. So,
hey, remember when I tried to put you on the walls of Jericho and you kicked me over and I had my vape in my back pocket and I broke my tank and I still vaped heavily at the time, so it very insulted me? Yeah, fuck you for that.
Yeah, because I didn't know jiu-jitsu and that shit don't work on me.
Yeah. Because when I used to hang out with Bryan, he was
Bobby's in the chat, dude. So real quick, Bobby Laredo just entered the chat room. Bobby is a young icon. And there was one point in time where we were raging so heavily at Bobby's residence that we were out of our minds, and Matt decided that he was going to try to light a 50 Cent CD on fire.
The massacre.
Lo and behold, he lights Bobby's entire bathroom on fire. That's right. Bobby's entire bathroom got blown up for a good 12 seconds because Matt decided to mix hypnotic and lighter fluid inside of a bathroom sink with the 50 Cent CD and like an aerosol can for like projectile purposes or whatever it may be.
I thought I was cool. Yeah, I'm sorry, Bobby. Also, Bobby, they dragged you out of your house and then said you were drunk in public, which you weren't because you were drunk in your house until those cops told you to step outside.
Until they dragged you into public.
I remember speeding down Country Club Drive in Palm Desert, with my headlights off because I called that stealth mode. And when I turned the headlights on, I saw my former coworkers. God, I cannot remember their name. Lupe and whatever the girl she was that was dating. They were really cool. They were driving next to me with their lights off as well. Cool story. Shouts to Bobby. Shouts to being 20 and drunk. Shouts to being 32 and drunk right now.
Fun.
No one likes you when you're, I don't know, I don't listen to Blink 182.
White 21 is maximum fun. We have Bobby Laredo in the chat, Vinny Esmeralda in the chat. CommonChaos.net for all your Common Chaos shit. That's where you can find me.
You owe me money for that advertisement.
You can find me personally at of Bryan of Death on Instagram, of Bryan of Death on Twitter, and of course iHateTheScene.com. You can check me out there. I'm gonna have a bio up there soon, whether Matt likes it or not.
I'm just waiting for you to type it, brother. Just waiting on you to type it.
He can suck a fat dick. You can check out our episodes. That's right, we have episodes. You can check them out on Spotify, on Stitcher, on Google Play, and on iTunes at iHateTheScene.com. Go ahead and go like, subscribe, share. Let us know what you think about the episode. Give us a rating. Matt's talking to a shoe. What do you have there, Dragnet? What do you got?
I was just going to tell you that you can reach me on Twitter at iHateTheScene with a fucking 8 instead of an A because I think I registered that domain and forgot the password. So that shit happens. You can reach me on Instagram at iHateTheScene spelled correctly. You can always reach us at iHateTheScene.com. You can reach my personal accounts on Twitter at Musselwhite Matt, on Instagram at Musselwhite Said. You can go to iHateTheScene.com, tell your friends about it, rate, review, subscribe, unsubscribe, re-rate, re-review, resubscribe. That way we get hella points. I'm trying to make a living off this. I got no money, and I'm trying to get hired by Domino's, and it's taking 3 weeks for a background check, so fuck them and their shitty pizza.
Sanitize your hands. Stay clean. Stay safe.
Lávate los manos. Lávate los manos.
Yeah, shout out to R. Kelly for getting COVID and dying. Yeah.